Another Tabletop Tuesday, episode 2. Not Attack of the Clones. It's like, well, it could have been last episode, right? Because we defended the Death Star, which wasn't in Attack of the Clones. Anyway, I digress. So welcome, everyone. Glad to have you. We've got another tabletop exercise, and we've got another team of esteemed experts. Let's go ahead and bring everybody on board and introduce everyone. So, yep, there's Alex Fan. So, hey, why don't we go ahead and start? We got 2 new faces and 1 returning champion here. So, in fact, we get to put Peter on top there because he's returning. You got to earn your way up the top of the. It's not a pyramid, is it? It's a block. So, all right, Peter, you want to reintroduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah, I'm Peter Lake from Melbourne, Australia. I'm a cybersecurity consultant and class of 23 at Edith Cowan Uni, a master's in cyber. So,
all right, Alex, you're not a newcomer to ThreatGEN, but you're a newcomer to the Tabletop Tuesdays.
Yeah, as I said, I've sort of been beta testing ThreatGEN stuff for a couple of years now, and well, Clint needed a third person. You got me.
All right, and Helen, whom I know personally, met in Dallas a couple of years ago. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Helen Liu. I'm a professor of chemical engineering in Lamar University. In addition to my PhD in chemical engineering, I also have a master's degree in computer science. I'm considered as an OT piece of people in this team.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Today is going to be, rather than having the fictional sci-fi of Star Wars, we're going to do something more traditional, but still OT in this one today. And so, and now that everybody's introduced, I'm going to go ahead and pull the name tags off just so we don't clutter up the screen. Let's go ahead and bring the battle arena into focus here. And so, all right, today we're going to, and I'm going to mute you real quick, Alex, that fan. Just unmute yourself if you need to say something. All right. So I definitely want to say hi to everybody in chat, and anybody who wants to communicate with us. We'll take your comments. We'll take into account your suggestions if you want to kind of play along with us. And what we're using, again, is the ThreatGEN AutoTabletop. And we do not already have a scenario configured. So we're just going to configure one really quick. I think we're going to let it surprise us. We don't know. So it's going to say, surprise me. The threat can be cyber, physical, cyber physical, or an insider. All right. Company info. We're going to be, let's do, we're going to be manufacturing. What are we going to manufacture? Why do I have all my autofill? That's bad. Get off there, autofill. What type of manufacturing company do we want to be? Pharmaceutical? We want to do lollipops. Any suggestions? Come on, Peter.
Yeah, pharmaceuticals quite topical, but EV industry might be quite topical as well.
Okay, yeah, we'll do pharmaceutical. Pharmaceutical.
Robert's saying solar cell manufacturer.
Solar cells. That's just, we might try that next. Let's do, for now. Hi, Greg. I see you there. Pharmaceutical. Is that considered manufacturing? Yeah, that's manufacturing, right? Or just. Okay. And I'm just going to leave everything else default. Like, and you know, you can, that's it. We'll just go with that. We can add more details if we wanted to, like what IT staff, cybersecurity staff, network, environment. You know, we can specify if we've got a well segment. Okay, let's at least talk about our OT network is pretty decently segmented. We'll just go with that. And we'll click save. And let's start our scenario. Now you're good to go, Alex. Oh, I see. Real quick, I see. Okay. So it's generating the scenario now. Once it generates the scenario, the voiceover will then play. But it takes a little while in this first one because it's going to be a long scenario generation. So you can choose to read the output or whatever, but we're going to get our voiceover is going to be my new AI intern. We're going to name her Lily. So our AI intern, Lily, and I'll unmute you here in a minute, Alex, as well. Here, you said you had to. Oh, hey, Alex, your audio sounds clear now. All right, it's taking a while. It's just generating our initial. There we go. And then wow, that was a long one. All right, so we're gonna have Lily, our voiceover. It gets automatically generated, but this first one always takes a while. I still haven't fixed that delay. Oh, are y'all hearing me double talk? Probably not. Okay. All right, here she goes. So I think she's about to read us the intro.
Introduction. Welcome to today's incident response tabletop exercise. I am your facilitator, and my role is to guide you through an unfolding scenario designed to test and improve our collective incident response capabilities. During the exercise, you will confront various challenges that simulate real-world conditions. As a team, you will need to discuss, make decisions, and propose actions as if this were a genuine threat targeting our company. Remember, communication and collaboration are key. Review the facts, lay out your strategies, and act methodically. And while it's crucial to act with determination, it's equally important to consider the broader implications of those actions. I'm here to provide new information, possible insights, and occasional challenges to help ensure a comprehensive response. Feel free to ask for advice, and I will assist as appropriate. Let's work together to navigate through this crisis and emerge stronger on the other side. Setting the stage. Our scenario unfolds within a global pharmaceutical manufacturing company that deals with sensitive proprietary information, as well as personal data related to ongoing clinical trials. The company's IT infrastructure is extensive, spanning several continents, with central data centers and satellite offices interconnected through a virtual private network, VPN. The IT staff consists of system administrators, network engineers, help desk personnel, and database managers, all of whom provide day-to-day operational support for both enterprise and production environments. The cybersecurity team, equipped with security analysts, a CISO, incident responders, and a digital forensics specialist, oversees the security posture of the company. They maintain state-of-the-art security information and event management, SIEM, tools, endpoint detection and response, EDR, platforms, and robust access control mechanisms. The environment in which we operate includes an on-premises data center with some cloud integration for non-critical applications and data storage. Extra focus has been placed on securing research and development areas and protecting intellectual property from industrial espionage. Scenario. This Monday morning, help desk tickets have surged with employees from multiple departments reporting that they cannot access internal network resources. Additionally, several have indicated that computer performance has recently become sluggish, with a substantial degradation in the processing of daily tasks. One particular report from the RD wing suggests that a researcher's computer displayed an unusual warning message about data corruption before it became unresponsive. The situation beckons a coordinated, swift, and strategic response. How does the incident response team proceed? It's time to begin our exercise. What are your first steps in addressing this scenario?
Boy, they didn't just give us a pharmaceutical manufacturing company. They gave us I think we must be Pfizer or something like that. Well, that just got me blacklisted on YouTube. All right. Wow. All right. So we have an internal communication issues, and we have a particular something from R&D. Sounds like to me industrial espionage. Sounds like to me somebody's trying to steal our chickenpox vaccine. All right, come on, let's go, team. Let's go, team. Let's and also audience. Let's what should our first steps be? I have some ideas, but I play this game all the time. I want to give everybody else a chance to play.
Yeah. So Gregor has made a good comment there about inform and prepare. And I think one of the first things would be to set up a war room, get your security incident response team with the legal counsel in the room to establish legal and professional privilege. And then I think today you also need your HR manager to turn on your employee assistance program to deal with any mental health issues during the long hours of a response.
So, and here's a comment. Like, so number one, if we're doing a real tabletop exercise in a company and not just have a bunch of colleagues here, we would want to have our incident response plan out and our playbooks out and everything, right? And we would want to go according to that. However, and also we have the advantage of knowing that an incident's coming, right? So it's like we can immediately say, hey, we have an incident. Let's declare an incident, activate incident response, activate war room. But I think we need to pretend like, what would we do not knowing an incident's coming? I think that, we would, while we suspect it, so somebody says, okay, what cloud service? AWS. What information from the SIM? Yeah, exactly. What do the firewall logs say? So I think we should check things first. So what did the EDR say? Where is it at? Okay, it didn't tell us. Okay, so I think we should. I say we should check with the SOC first, and see if they're getting anything on the EDR and any logs of suspicious activity. Because I think normally we don't know if this is an attack or if this is just some system outage or whatever. So because even the particular report from the R&D wing says that a researcher's computer displayed an unusual warning about data corruption. I think these are all telltale signs, but I think we start. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think there's some good. So Greg's saying, so what specifically are the tickets saying? Also, let's contact the SOC to see if there are any alerts in the SIM/EDR that might indicate suspicious activity. I think we'll start there. What do you say?
What about if the reports are geographically concentrated, or if they're spread throughout the network?
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. That's a great point. There we go. That was a great point because, I believe that since I've been using AutoTabletop, I haven't come across such a globally distributed organization before. So let's go with this and see what we get. All right. I'm going to mute you. There you go. You got your fan call. You turned your microphone off. I see what you're doing. You're muting locally. That's good. So anytime we have somewhat of a long generation here, it means there's a lot of information coming back to us. All right, there we go.
Yeah, one of the dangers one of the dangers is jumping to conclusions
second.
before you
I think
have
she's going to
a
say
broad
something.
sweep of data.
The tickets are varied, but a significant number of them share common issues. Employees are reporting inability to access network shares and departmental drives, slow system performance across multiple systems, an unspecified error when attempting to access certain internal applications. The tickets are not isolated to one geographic location. They have been submitted from various locations in both the central and remote offices. In response to your action to contact the Security Operations Center, SOC, the team reviews the CMEDR and discovers several alerts. Multiple endpoints are signaling unusual outbound network traffic patterns, which seem to be both irregular and substantial in volume. A number of systems are reporting a spike in disk I/O and CPU usage that does not align with typical performance metrics. The CIEM has flagged several failed login attempts to privileged accounts, unrelated to any known maintenance windows or scheduled activities. With these details now apparent, the SOC team has escalated the situation, recognizing patterns that could indicate a potential security incident. What would you like to do next?
Yep. So at this point, because the SOC team has escalated the situation, I think the first thing we'll do is absolutely formally declare an incident. Alert. It'll activate our IR plan / process. Alert upper management, HR, and legal. And what else?
Do any of the privileged accounts lack functioning MFA?
That would be more of a post-mortem question, I think. Is there a specific reason we're asking that for the incident part? Is that I'm just curious. I think to me it seems more like a post-mortem.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I'm trying to think maybe if that would give us any clues as to whether this is physical on site. So I think one thing I would suggest would be can we was it suspicious? So multiple endpoints are signaling unusual outbound traffic patterns, which you both okay. And so a number of systems. Where does it say they are?
The sign flags
outbound
several
traffic patterns. Yeah. Can we determine where the outbound traffic is going? Blacklist those IP addresses for now. And
So it'd be interesting to know what type of traffic it was.
Yeah.
Whether it was on a particular port number.
Can we determine what kind of traffic the unusual traffic is? So we have some comments from chat here. So what reports do EDR and DFIR provide? So I think the EDR, I think it just told us kind of what's going on in EDR for the most part. However, we can ask, do we have a DFIR firm on retainer? We should, being a pharmaceutical this big.
Mhm.
Have the interested parties been informed? What do you mean by interested parties, Gregor? And then can we see what information from where have been taken? Yeah. So that's what we're checking with the traffic.
So the interested parties would be part of the ISO 27001 stakeholders that are listed in the risk tables. So.
Stakeholders, or okay. So we suspect that the unusual traffic might be exfiltrating sensitive data. Can we determine that?
Yeah, and also I think we may want to look at that specific computer to see what are the suspicious data on that computer. And in addition to that account, that computer, what are the other additional accounts, additional computers has this kind of sensitive information, and closely watch them as well.
So, all right. So let's look at the seemingly affected computers and accounts for clues and inform necessary stakeholders. Right now, I'm hungry, so I prefer to say stakeholders. Anyway.
Yes.
All right, let's just go with that for now because that's a mouthful.
It is indeed. Yes.
Yeah, I would be curious to see. This is going to be a lot of information we're sending, a lot of decisions in one step. The anticipation kills me. I have to fill up the dead air with something. All right, yeah, it's giving us a pretty. There we go. Woohoo! All right, let's see what this says. I imagine. Do you hear double echo whenever I talk? I think it's just from you guys. All right, so
No.
okay, I think this is gonna be a long one. All right, so let's let her read it. I like it whenever Lily narrates.
Your team takes the decision to formally declare an incident and activates the incident response plan. As per protocol, upper management, HR, and legal teams are notified of the situation and brought up to speed on the latest developments. The SOC team begins work to determine the nature of the outbound traffic. They are able to trace the endpoint's connections to a set of IP addresses, which appear to be located in various countries known for hosting malicious infrastructure. These IPs are immediately blacklisted on the company's firewall, ceasing communication with those external locations. Upon closer examination of the traffic content, SOC analysts are able to confirm that the outbound communications from the affected systems contain large quantities of compressed and encrypted data, suggesting it may indeed comprise stolen information. The exact contents are currently indiscernible due to the encryption. Yes, the company does have a digital forensics and incident response (DFIR) firm on retainer. If you would like, the team can engage with them to help assess the situation, collect evidence, and recommend mitigation strategies. The cybersecurity staff reviews the involved computers and accounts. The pattern seems to indicate that the accounts linked to the failed login attempts are related to IT and RD personnel with access to sensitive areas. The compromised machines are found in various departments, including finance, operations, and primarily RD. On the systems in RD, there are traces of recently used tools that are not standard for the company's operations, indicating a possible vector for the attack. Inject suggestion. While engaging with the DFIR firm, it becomes apparent that the assigned point of contact for your company is currently on leave, and there's a delay in their response time. The team must rely on internal resources and any external support available from the DFIR firm's secondary contacts. Stakeholders and necessary departments are informed, including RED, whose data is likely targeted given the indicators on the affected systems. Based on these actions, what additional steps would you like to take to address the incident?
Well, it threw us a curveball. We have an inject, so we don't get access to our DFIR right now. and it's a slight glitch. It's not supposed to say inject suggestion. It's just supposed to say inject, but oh well. Minor cosmetic issue. So it said that there was a clue to. So the compromised machines are found in various departments, including finance, operations, and on the R&D. There are traces of recently used tools that are not standard. Okay. All right. So Gregor says that's the last time they work for us because the DFIR team is on leave. Are you saying that? You saying that DFIR firm staff, they don't deserve vacation, don't deserve holiday? Okay. I think that means we definitely need to focus our internal cybersecurity and IT staff on the R&D systems to find. Oh wait, you know what though? Here, I think we should say this. Has the suspicious communication / traffic stopped now that we have blacklisted the external IP addresses, and then I think we should have our internal cybersecurity team and IT staff focus the investigation in the R&D area, and also look for evidence of, you know what, we shouldn't, I think at this point, we should go ahead and isolate. So pull all infected machines off of the network, and then check for any additional signs of lateral movement. All right, anything else?
Yeah. One thing might be helpful here is if, sorry for getting down in the weeds, but if we were looking at the endpoints and looking at the process IDs of those new tools.
Okay.
That showed
Oh,
up,
yeah.
the pre-fetch files that might have been triggered to launch those, and when they first became that's a bit detailed, but yeah.
All right. Anything else?
So if you had Windows Defender,
Backups.
if you had Windows Defender or some endpoint, there might be some process IDs there that would link to a causation path. So.
Yeah, and good idea, Alex. Also, let's start getting backups prepared.
And also maybe check the gold workstation images up to date.
All right, let's go with this for now. Yeah, that was. Yeah, and you know, normally whenever if we're doing this with an internal team and we all work together and we all know our roles, we can start getting more granular. I know, Peter, you started doing that, but yeah, we can get as detailed as we want, but also the more detailed you go and the more step by step you go, the less likely we're going to finish in an hour. All right, there we go. Oh, we got another inject. We'll see. All right, let's let Lily tell us a story.
After blacklisting the external IP addresses, the SOC team confirms that the suspicious outbound communication has ceased. The mitigation action appears to be effective in stopping the immediate threat of data exfiltration to those IPs. The internal cybersecurity team and IT staff zoom in on the RD department, given its critical relevance in the pattern of compromised systems. They begin isolating the infected machines from the network to prevent further spread or data loss. During this process, the SOC keeps monitoring network traffic and system logs for any signs of lateral movement to other machines in the network. In examining the unauthorized tools found, the forensics team is able to pull process IDs and gather information about their origin and nature. The tools include a mix of custom malware and modified versions of legitimate administrative software used to gather data and move laterally in the system. The IT team checks the integrity of backups and confirms that the most recent gold image is up to date and has not been tampered with. However, there's a need to ensure that no infected machines contributed to the backups, and so the integrity of backups made after the suspected breach timeline is being verified. As part of a broader recovery strategy, would you prefer to wait for the DFIR firm's detailed assistance, or proceed with in-house efforts? Also, are there any specific recovery steps or additional investigations you wish to initiate at this point? Inject suggestion. During the verification of the backup's integrity, you discover that several backup images have also been compromised, indicating that the breach may have occurred earlier than initially suspected. This inject adds complexity to the recovery process, as there's now a reduced number of backups considered safe for use.
Oh, they're throwing the kitchen sink at us on this one. So, wow. What do you guys think?
Oh, custom malware, persistence. Yeah, this ain't script kiddies.
Yeah. So Gregor says we still don't know what information left and from where. Yeah. Database, production, development. Yeah, that's a good point. So how about we still need to figure out what data was being exported and how deep this breach might have been. I would say also, I mean, we also need to check the oldest logs we have to try and discover the I guess the first we'll do this internally for now until DFIR is available. So we've got no DFIR support because they're in Hawaii, and we have limited backups. How about we scavenge what we can from the backups and see what we can recover. Ooh, this is going deep.
Yeah, I think the key here is around where those backups started to become, their irregularities. We want to start looking at the logs immediately preceding that and sort of attaching or putting them in a repository for later investigation when the DFR team becomes available. So I guess in incident management, managing what you're collecting as you go needs to be in a systematic kind of way so that you're collecting all the evidence you need.
Yeah, how about this? Even though we are investigating internally, we need to be aware of chain of custody and do not shut down any systems if they aren't posing further risk, so that we can retain any memory resident malware. So it's try being cheeky, right? We will use the laptops we stored away for the scenario to help the company go. Yeah, you could probably game the system a little bit like that. Be like, oh, look what I found. I found these laptops, and it'll go along with it. But that defeats the point.
Is it they are posing or they aren't posing further risk?
Oh, sorry. There we go. Thank you. All right, let's go with that. Yeah, and we can also like ask things like, hey, time frame. If we want some detailed logs, we can. All right, this isn't too bad. Man, we still don't have DFIR. All right, let's see what she says.
Your team focuses on delineating the scope of the breach and identifying the exfiltrated data. Forensic analysts begin to examine network traffic logs, file access records, and the compromised system's storage to uncover which files were prepped for exfiltration. They aim to determine if any specific intellectual property, employee information, or trial data has been compromised. Simultaneously, IT staff comb through historical logs to track down the initial point of entry. The team reviews everything from firewall logs to application access logs, looking for the first indicators of compromise. They pay special attention to timestamps around the period when backup images start showing signs of tampering. Regarding the backups, the team scrutinizes the backup history to establish a timeline of integrity. Upon examination, a distinct pattern emerges. Backups appear to have been systematically compromised for some time, with the earliest dirty backup dating back approximately 2 months. This potentially narrows down the window for the initial breach. Throughout these procedures, the internal cybersecurity team is mindful of maintaining chain of custody over all evidence. They document each step meticulously for future legal or law enforcement inquiries. Systems that may contain memory-resident malware or other such volatile evidence are left running in isolated network segments. They're carefully monitored to avoid further risk while preserving potential evidence in memory. As DFIR firm support is not immediately available, the team proceeds with the in-house approach, but stays prepped to integrate external support once it becomes accessible. Would you like to proceed with additional steps based on these actions and findings? Or would you request any specific follow-up actions or investigations?
What do we think?
Email, remote access.
What about it?
Well, for the as vectors, or that sort of included in the whole check all the logs.
I think maybe traffic logs. I think right now I would say we're kind of waiting for results, right? Except for we did find that the patterns are emerging, backups appear to. So we've had. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think right now we just kind of wait, right? I mean, at this point, we might want to. I mean, do we call in law enforcement at this time? I mean, how about this? Yeah. We will wait for results, but also since DFIR isn't available, we need to contact the FBI.
Do we need to check with legal first before doing that?
Yeah. Good idea. Let's check with legal and see if there are any objections to us reaching out to the FBI. Are pharmaceuticals considered critical infrastructure in the U.S.? And I mean, this could be global. I don't even know where we're at in this thing. You know what? By the way, since we are a global organizations, where are we currently at?
So one of the things here, Clint, is like in Australia, if you go to the Australian Cybersecurity Centre and the Signals Directorate, you'd be able to gain, by reporting the incident, which is required for critical infrastructure, yes.
Okay.
But you'd be able to get some assistance from them with CTI, threat intelligence, from cyber threat intelligence, and other people who may be experiencing a similar event. There might be some inbound information that they have based on what they're seeing elsewhere in the marketplace as to how to respond. So I'm sure the FBI or NSA would have a similar process.
Yeah, Gregor, I'm assuming at this point that if we notified upper management, in which we did, I'm assuming that they're disseminating that throughout all. But I'm going to go ahead and make that assumption. I'm not going to mess with that. I don't want to give our facilitator more ammo for injects. We're already hurting as it is. All right, let's go ahead and see what this gives us. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to end up finishing this one in this run. I don't want to go past an hour today. Well, but we'll do as well as we can. Although I don't know, we might pull out a come from behind win. I don't know. I kind of feel like we're getting our butts kicked on this one.
And we haven't even started on GDPR.
Yeah, we're gonna nice long creation here. It's not that bad. Oh, look at there! You just mentioned GDPR. Oh, it doesn't say where we're at. It just says. All right, she's gonna talk.
As you await further clarity from the internal investigations, you opt to consult with the company's legal team to explore the possibility of involving law enforcement. The legal counsel reviews the situation and confirms that it is prudent to engage with law enforcement, particularly given the scale and potential impact of the data breach. Regarding the global presence of the company and the regulatory requirements, the legal team informs you that, due to the presence of operations in the European Union, the United States, and Asia, multiple jurisdictions are involved. Specific obligations to report the incident are highlighted as follows. Under the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, in the EU, there is a mandate to report certain types of data breaches to the relevant supervisory authority within 72 hours of becoming aware of the breach, especially if there is a risk to the rights and freedoms of individuals. In the United States, depending on the nature of the data and the states affected, there might be varying breach notification laws that require reporting both to authorities and, in some cases, directly to the affected individuals. Asian regions also have their own set of regulations, which might have similar reporting obligations, so it would be essential to review those based on specific country laws where the company operates. The legal team recommends that, Based on the initial findings indicating personal data may have been compromised, notifications to authorities should be prepared. Also, disclosures to affected individuals should be drafted, pending a clearer picture of the breach's scope. This is not only to comply with legal requirements, but also as a measure of best practice for maintaining public trust and managing reputational risk. Inject suggestion. Upon the decision to inform law enforcement and regulatory bodies, an unexpected reputational challenge arises. A journalist has caught wind of the incident and reaches out for a statement regarding the alleged data breach at the pharmaceutical company. This creates an urgent need to craft an appropriate public communications strategy. Would you like to take any specific actions regarding the communications needed to address this journalist's inquiry and the wider public relations aspect, in tandem with the ongoing investigation and recovery efforts?
God, that's 3 injects already. Well, I think, first of all, we need to have legal start drafting, reporting statements, and work with the appropriate staff to get that done. Then we need PR to prepare a statement immediately and respond to reporters as appropriate, and prepare to deliver a public statement. No flu shot for anybody this year.
And often you'll find those statements have a little FAQ section on the end of it to head off a few of the, assumptions that people might make, like, it'll take time to investigate because, it's an ongoing situation, those kind of things.
But I think other than that, let's just wait for the results of the investigation. Other than that, let's wait for the results of ongoing forensics investigations. Do we have our EFIR online or available yet? And
maybe we could foreshadow and say, prepare a briefing pack for the DFIR who are returning from leave on Monday.
That's a good one.
At this rate, they might be late to the tragedy.
Yeah, you know what? Turns out that the DFIR team is unavailable. They weren't on leave. It turns out they're all in the hospital from your corrupted pharmaceutical recipes and formulas. I need to shh.
Stop giving it ideas.
Just realized I haven't eaten today. I could stand to skip a few meals. Oh, this is going to be a bad one. Another one. Wow, we're getting hammered. All right, man. All right, let's let Lily read our...
Unfolds, the legal team starts working on draft notifications for the authorities and potentially affected individuals. These drafts will be adjusted as more details about the breach are uncovered, ensuring accuracy and compliance with various jurisdictions' data breach reporting requirements. In response to the imminent public relations challenge, the Public Relations PR team is tasked with crafting a holding statement to address the journalists' inquiry. This initial statement is carefully worded to acknowledge that the company is aware of reported cybersecurity concerns and is actively investigating the matter, without confirming specific details before the full circumstances are known. The PR team is also preparing a more detailed public statement to be released once additional information becomes available. As you're awaiting the results of the forensic investigation, the DFIR team becomes available to assist. They are briefed on the current situation and immediately begin to collaborate with your cybersecurity team, offering their expertise to help expedite the analysis. Law enforcement has been contacted, and channels of communication have been established. The authorities are cooperative and willing to provide assistance as needed. They also initiate their protocols for cybercrime investigations, which will likely involve collaboration with your internal teams and the DFIR firm. Would you like to direct any specific inquiries or tasks to the DFIR team now involved in the investigation? Or proceed with any follow-up actions based on the current progress in the recovery process and legal and PR initiatives underway? Inject suggestion. Additionally, as interactions with law enforcement begin, they request access to certain data logs and system images as part of their investigative procedures. This will require balancing the legal implications and the need to maintain evidence integrity with the operational requirements to restore affected systems.
Wow. Okay. I think now that our DFIR team is here you go. I mean, wow. I think we should have our internal team hand over all results so far and get the to the DFIR team and get them up to speed. Work with legal to prepare the necessary access, necessary required access to law enforcement. Man, I'm going to say at this point, all forensics will be turned over to DFIR and law enforcement, but we are available to assist as needed. Where are we at on whether or not we have any backups we can use, or if they are, let's do that. All right. Anything else?
Would it be too early to hit up the finance department for an estimate on the financial scope of the breach, or?
It'll give us that at the end, and
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I can't think of anything else other than, and I'm going to prepare my resume.
Yeah.
Watch. I bet she's going to give us some sort of consolation message. Oh, don't worry, it's going to be okay. And or maybe not. Oh, we got another inject. Are you kidding me? We are getting hammered.
Well,
I've never seen this many injects. Wow.
Security team compiles all of the information and data collected from the ongoing investigation, including network logs, disk images, and the history of the incident's actions, and presents it to the DFIR team. This comprehensive package should expedite the DFIR team's understanding of the situation, allowing them to hit the ground running. In conjunction with the legal team, procedures are established to ensure law enforcement is provided with the necessary data logs and system images they requested. Legal is setting up formal chains of custody and ensuring that any legal requirements or restrictions are communicated clearly to the investigative authorities. With regards to backups, the IT and forensic teams have identified a set of backups from a period predating the earliest signs of compromise. These backups appear clean and uncontaminated, providing a reliable point to which certain systems and data can be restored. However, the breadth of restoration efforts will be contingent on the DFIR team's assessment. They will need to ensure that the threat has been fully eradicated from the network to avoid reinfection. Inject suggestion. As the communications with legal and law enforcement are being finalized, an issue arises with one of the key databases required for clinical trial management. It seems to be partially corrupted, and the clean version of this database is only available in a backup that is 6 weeks old. Restoring this backup will result in data loss unless a way to clean the current version can be found. With the DFIR team taking over the investigative tasks and your preparations to ensure the continuity of your professional career as a precaution, is there anything else you'd like to do as part of the incident management or recovery process?
In your preparations to ensure the continuity of your professional career. You know what? I'm using that in the future. If I'm going to say, you know what? I need to reconsider the continuity of my professional career instead of saying I quit. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
I love it. That's hilarious.
Yeah. I'm just hoping Clint's not going to hurt himself.
So here's what I think we do. You know, we're down to the wire, right? So, I mean, we only got 3 minutes left for the hour. So I'm going to say this. I'm just going to fast track things up. I'm going to say, set the building on fire. Just kidding. So I'm going to leave it up to the DFIR team to determine if there are any methods available. To store the clinical trials data. If not, then we have no choice but to restore what we have. You know, at this point, we have no alternative but to wait for results. Yeah, let's go for that. And see, I mean, at this point, I think we got our butts handed to us on this one. This was brutal.
But realistic. Very realistic.
Wow.
Yeah, I noticed the injects are a bit light on. I usually get multiple per turn.
Oh, it just ended the exercise for us.
Nice.
All right, here we go. Wow, what timing. Lily's good. All right. Let's see. I mean, we didn't do too bad, but we'll see. Oh, cost us a lot of money, though. What? I mean, not even $1 million, though, so I guess we're good. All right, let's let her read our obituary.
With the DFIR team now fully engaged and handling the more technical aspects of the investigation, your focus turns to managing the situation effectively and awaiting the results of their forensic analysis. The DFIR team starts by assessing the clinical trials database for any possibility of recovery without data loss. They utilize advanced forensic tools and methodologies to attempt to sanitize and restore the database from the current state. If this proves infeasible, they will proceed with restoring the clean 6-week-old backup while working to minimize the impact on clinical trials and data integrity. During this time, they continue to sweep for any trace of the attacker's presence, ensuring that the threat is entirely eradicated from the network before any major restoration efforts commence. They coordinate closely with your IT team to establish a secure and clean recovery environment. In parallel, your PR team is on standby to publicly address the situation, with a carefully vetted statement ready to be released as soon as the company has a clearer picture of the breach's scope and the consequent actions being taken. Now it's a matter of letting the specialists do their work and preparing for the post-incident phase, which will include a thorough review of the incident, lessons learned, and adjustments to policies and procedures to bolster defenses against future attacks. As the exercise facilitator, let's declare this exercise concluded. Here's the exercise analysis and report. Exercise analysis and report. Score: 85-100. Executive summary. The team acted swiftly to tackle a sophisticated cyber incident that impacted multiple departments, most critically RD, and involved potential data exfiltration. The incident escalation procedures were promptly initiated, external experts were engaged, and legal and PR considerations were managed effectively. Law enforcement engagement was appropriate, and chains of custody for evidence were well maintained. Analysis summary. The incident response plan was activated efficiently, and the game plan was clear and actionable. Incident identification, communication, and initial response actions were executed commendably. The backup verification process was plagued by the realization that the compromise had existed for longer than initially expected. However, the team successfully identified clean backups for restoration. The team displayed a proactive approach to public relations and potential legal issues. Detailed cost breakdown. DFIR firm engagement, $50,000. Potential data recovery services, $25,000. Potential ransom payments, $0. No ransom was paid. Lost productivity, estimated at $250,000. Regulatory fines, pending investigation but potentially substantial. PR management, $10,000. Positive, successful actions. Rapid incident declaration and response plan activation. Effective engagement with SOC, IT, and cybersecurity staff. Immediate containment efforts via IP blacklisting. Timely legal and PR involvement with preemptive communication preparation. Effective collaboration and use of resources, including DFIR and law enforcement. Areas for improvement. Delayed access to DFIR resources due to point of contact on leave. The need for earlier detection capabilities to reduce the window of compromise. Strengthened backup integrity checks to ensure faster isolation of clean restore points. Breakdown of score deductions.
What?
Delay in escalation due to initial unavailability of DFIR team, 5 points. Compromised backups indicating the incident was undetected for an extended period, 5 points. Need to ask for facilitator's advice, 5 points. Occurred once. Overall, the company and the incident response team managed the situation with appropriate urgency and due diligence, keeping in mind the legal, operational, and reputational repercussions of the incident.
Here, I just cut her off. Hold on. When did we ask for advice? And so, wait, I'm going to argue.
I didn't mention the other two.
Yeah, What? It didn't let us continue? Oh, wait. Oh.
Oh, yeah. 5 points. Back.
Oops, sorry, I had you. Okay. All right, I'm not going to let her read all this. Whenever she starts, I'll just cut her off.
Fusion. Upon reviewing the exchange, there was...
Yeah, I don't need you to apologize. Okay, I can read it. Okay, so, but I also disagree with, we're going to get 100 on this. Also, why do we get deducted from activities that we have no control over outside of response? I guess, you know what? I mean, I guess technically compromised backups, I don't know. I argue that compromised backups, I'm typing fast now because I'm trying to get this done. Compromised backups shouldn't be an IR deduction. And the DFIR delay wasn't our fault. Yeah. What do you have to say about that? I misspelled fault, right? But that's okay. Fault. Wasn't our fault.
Well, it was an inject, in fact.
Yeah. So, and by the way, that is a bug in the system prompt that we have. But that's a bug in the system prompt that we have that it doesn't. I still haven't fixed it to where it's not supposed to ding you for injects that it causes or things are outside of your control. But that's okay. All right.
Yeah, I noticed it's a little bit of an incentive not to go like check your backups or dig up things.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to download this transcript for later. And with that, let's have a quick debrief, but we're already 5-6 minutes over. So yeah, any quick debrief comments or anything like that? So first of all, for those of you that are first joining us on the tabletops, thanks for joining us. Alex, thanks for joining us and stepping out of the beta test chair for a little bit. I know that you've had some experience playing around with the auto tabletop for a couple of weeks now. And Helen, thanks for joining us on any ThreatGEN activity and event we have going on. So anyway, any comments?
Yeah, I noticed injects were pretty light on.
Yeah, the injects, I think, were very accurate. They hammered us with the injects, but the scenario,
more than like only one per turn. That's low in my experience.
Yeah. Oh, really? You usually get a lot of injects?
Yeah, I usually get 2 or 3 per turn.
Oh, what? Oh, man. Well, I know that the injects were. I mean, this was a pretty accurate scenario. I think it created a scenario that had a lot of realism to it, and we kept it higher level. We could have gone deeper in the weeds and more technical if we wanted to, but we kept it commensurate of the time frame. So, Helen, any comments?
I think it's a great exercise. I like the way we can negotiate with the AI tool.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. I personally, I think we did well. I think that there was a lot of stuff that oh, and Robert says it would be cool to make the transcript available for everyone to read. Yeah, I can make the transcript. I'll put the transcript. I'll link to the transcripts in all the comments everywhere and upload the file and everything like that. But all right, for the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and end this one. So thanks to our IR team for joining us. And thanks for everybody who's watching either live or on replay.
Yeah.
And join us next Tuesday for our 3rd episode of Tabletop Tuesday. So thanks, everybody, and take care.
So.
Bye-bye.